We're just heading into a conversation with the Game Changer Women Leadership ladies, and so this is week 5 out of the 12, and this week is what I'd call game time. We're literally going to have a huge freaking conversation. It's going to be big. So anyway, I thought you might want to come and watch a little bit of the conversation with us. There's 12 women, and these women are extraordinary women. And have you noticed how often we can congest ourselves with time and other people's agendas, and we can also congest ourselves with a whole lot of stuff that keeps us busy but doesn't really move the needle forward in the areas that actually are the most truly important to us. So one of the things I worked at was a registered nurse, and when I worked as a nurse, I nursed people who were at the end of their lives, and time again what they said was they didn't end up doing the things that they really wanted because they had all of these reasons and these stories that felt real at the time, but looking back they were like a holding pattern that kept putting off the things that actually mattered. So today's conversation is a really big conversation, and it's actually time to do the thing that we know to do, that thing that's shoulder tapping us, that thing that's fucking knocking at the door for us. Like, we can keep putting this off, we can keep distracting ourselves with everything else, including the reasons and excuses of why not, but it's time to do the fucking thing. See, here's the thing, most of the big world change makers, the people that have like altered the course of history, they haven't been the child prodigies, they haven't been people who have been unusually gifted, they've been the people who have felt the shoulder tap, and regardless of how they've actually felt, they've shown up and they've done the thing. So we're about to head into a conversation. This is going to be a big conversation. Come and join us. And in your choosing, you're going to open up your power, because you'll get that it's always a fucking choice. Now here's the thing, we're going to open up new conversations, because when you actually open up, when you connect into the tower level and you're humming at 50 megabytes per second, 100 megabytes per second, here's the thing that happens, is you see like possibilities everywhere. I'm talking like the things you really want. And then in order to get them, what comes up is that like you literally have to take a bold action. Because all of this stuff, it literally just comes down to little bold actions, bold conversations, bold requests, like putting yourself out there. But what happens is as you go to take that bold action, I'm talking about like the action. I'm not talking about all the little background actions that have you feel busy and feel like you're doing groundwork stuff. I'm not talking about those, because I know you're really good at doing that stuff. You're all amazing women. I'm talking about the thing. Doing the thing that moves the needle, that puts the stake in the ground, that grabs the momentum. That's the do the thing. Sometimes the actual biggest thing that feels the scariest, the thing that puts a stake in the ground, that moves the needle forward and creates momentum beyond your own personal want or ability, like it literally creates a momentum outside of yourself. Those things are the things you want to go for first. Once you open that door, and this is the do the thing, you open the door, regardless of how you feel, you just do it because you know your stand. It's your stand that carries you through. What will happen on the other side of that is there will be a slightly bigger door that opens. Doors are connected to doors. So exciting. And because doors are connected to doors, at the moment you don't open your door and you keep looping backwards, there's a lot of doors beyond that that aren't dominoing. There's one thing that's going to supercharge you, is you knowing what your stand is. Because when you're not clear on what your stand actually is, this is where the whole no rules thing just gets icky and it goes like 2 megabytes per second shit, because you get into old looping conversations, right? But when you're clear about, hey, this is my stand, this is where my tower is at. This is my tower. You get to go into no rules conversations, and you get to make it up.
Like, there's just so much fucking emotion around it and heaviness and all this shit, and it's like, that's not gonna go away by me sitting here and journaling about it. It's, yeah.
Exactly, and here's the thing, you also can't go and do another program to avoid it. This is it now. Do you get that? How many of you are like, what, the next program, it's not the fucking program. You're being shoulder tapped right now. It is not the next book, not the next program, not the next journaling session. You've got to do the thing. All right. Much love to everyone. After this, please go into the Game Changer Women Leadership, post your declaration, and game time. Let's do this. Do the thing. See ya. That was so good. In Game Changer Women Leadership, there's a lady who's the CEO of a huge company, and what she's using this 12 weeks for is to actually like up level and blow the roof off the level of results that they're actually getting in the company. So the company's already successful. However, she's been operating out of this small, I need to dim my light, I need to kind of live myself, and I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And that space that she's been operating out of has been throttling the success of her company. So she is literally blowing the roof off. She is operating in a way she's never operated before, and the results that are coming in is absolutely huge. We've got another lady who's been in business for 18 years, and she's been functioning really well, and yet behind the scenes there's been a lot of messy stuff going on, and so she's literally changing that game. So she's literally cleaning up a lot of the background operating of, and it's how we're doing stuff. So she's cleaning up operating of how she's doing stuff, and it's affecting the front end of her business. Anyway, there's so much I could keep going on about. It's a total and utter privilege and blessing to be able to do this. If these conversations are all feel familiar to you, and you feel like there's some levels to which, yeah, you actually do play it small, and you haven't been listening to the shoulder tapping, and you might be very busy in your life, but you're actually avoiding the thing, the thing, or your time's just so congested because your focus is on everyone else. Whatever it is, if this conversation around you really owning your next level of personal leadership, if it calls to you and you get that feeling, just follow that. Diamond Leadership Academy, we've got 25 spaces, and applications are open right now. Head over to diamondleadershipacademy.com, have a read through, put in your application. Next step, I'll have a read through, and I will get back to those of you who get on to the next step of an application interview. I'll show you my little balcony. This is where we live here in Bali.